Here we are, and we are filming. We are filming. I can find a spot. Okay, today is a chatty video. What's going on, YouTube? I am HotMessNessMua, otherwise known as Vanessa. And today we are doing a tag video. I did not film this makeup look. Not that anyone cares. But I got off work early and I wanted to film something, and I was thinking, yeah, it would be fun to do this tag video that I've seen go circles around. By the time I'm doing it, probably no one cares. But today we're gonna do the top 5, bottom 5 tag. And it was started by Samantha March. I saw Angelica do it, Angelica Nyquist, Nerdy Girl Makeup do it, and a couple other people. And I thought this would be fun. It's just a chatty video. Your top 5 brands that excite you and bottom 5 brands that excite you. And I know people are doing different twists on it and, you know, their takes. So what I'm gonna just preface, if I name a brand that you love as a not exciting brand, that is nothing personal. That just means that maybe it's not speaking to me at this particular junction in my life. And also, if I name a brand that excites me, that doesn't necessarily mean that I've purchased or I have even anything from that brand. It's just something that this brand is doing that I find exciting. So, let's start with the brands that don't excite me, okay? So one of the first brands that I find not exciting at this particular point right now is Urban Decay. And I love me some Urban Decay. I wish Urban Decay would come back. Let me also preface that I'm not gonna talk about indies that I currently have affiliates with because I find them exciting. So no Looksy, no Devinah, no Sydney Grace, because you guys already know I love them and I think they're great. So no point in adding them in when it's not needed. So back to Urban Decay. Urban Decay has been playing it so safe lately. And even when they have the opportunity to do something like this beautiful Game of Thrones palette, it just felt lackluster. Like, instead of giving us little quads within the palette that's like, here's a look and a look, they did like recycled, repeated shades. And I still wanted to get that Born to Run palette, and I was talked out of it. But nothing has been juicy like the old Vice palettes. And even the Vices started to get weird for a while, right? It was like a bunch of shimmers or an all shimmer palette. Why can't they bring back color stories? It doesn't have to be all color, but a color story palettes that make you want to create. Instead, we're getting Naked 1, 2, 3, 4, 17. So many Naked palettes. But get off the Naked train, start a new train, and give us some kind of fun, colorful something, you know? Like, I don't care, do an Urban Peacock. Yeah, some of those things haven't been done, but not by Urban Decay. So Urban Decay hasn't really put out anything that I'm like, yes. And again, this is a brand that I love. So that's one of them I was thinking of. The next one that has not really excited me is IT Cosmetics. And I use a lot of IT Cosmetics, and I like face products. But the foundation that recently just came out, I reviewed it. I'll throw that up in the cards if you're interested. I'm using it less and less. I noticed that it's no longer at my Ulta, and that brush was just blah. So I wish that they would just give me something. I don't even know what I want from them right now, because I don't expect like a colorful palette or anything like that, but just something. I mean, IT Cosmetics has some of the best brushes on the market. The skin products are beautiful and I love them, but they just haven't come out with anything that's like, I need this in my life as of recently. And again, this is the brand that I do love and own a lot of products. Another brand that hasn't excited me It's Morphe. And Morphe has a lot of products that I think are good. I have, 80% of their brushes. But even when they come out with a new palette, and we just saw this new one, and I'll pop it up in the cards, it's a colorful palette. I don't know why we can't go back to some of the 12 pans, or maybe not put 35 of the same shade. Even though Morphe is growing at this exponential rate, they just haven't done anything recently that I'm like, ooh, Morphe radar, I see you. You're exciting, you're fun, you're fresh. So when I'm at an Ulta or when I'm shopping online, I don't think to go to their Instagram. I don't think to go peep what they're doing next. I mean, if I see it on Trendmood, I'm like, I've seen this palette before. And I'd love to see more from Morphe because they're so inexpensive. I don't know, some little split pan blushes, or just something fun, something fresh. Color Story. You guys can do it. I know you can. And some of their smaller little palettes have gotten some really good reviews. Would love to see something like that. Number 4. What's another brand that hasn't really got me? So another brand that I'm like, what happened? What happened? We used to love you. You don't excite me anymore. Is MAC. I miss the olden days of MAC. Like, why don't they have those really pretty little 4 or even duo highlighters anymore? The skin finishes are beautiful. I love the mineralized skin finish. It is a great finishing powder. If you don't want to spend all the money on the Hourglass finishing powder, dim light, MAC is a nice dupe. But I have not seen an eyeshadow palette from MAC that I have needed. All of their collaborations feel like it's repurposed. So you're buying for packaging, and at this point, some of the packaging isn't even that exciting anymore. So I really wish that MAC could, I don't know, just come back and be exciting. And I know there's so much out there now, but I miss MAC. But there's so many other things out on the market now that are cheaper, just as good, that you're like, well, I don't really need that. But I do miss that MAC experience. I lived for going to the MAC store and picking out a couple things and testing, and the loud music and the vibe. It was always fun. And now I don't even glance. Oh, MAC has a release. Oh, MAC is releasing Aladdin, or whatever, collab movie thing is coming out. It's just not even speaking to me like it used to. I miss MAC. Another brand. Why is this so hard now? I had all these ideas in my head, and now this is hard to do. I'm trying to think. Oh, another brand that does not excite me, and this is no shade. Kylie Cosmetics doesn't excite me at all. When I saw her skincare line, and it's no hate toward her, I think it's great that she's been able to market this huge business and become very, very, very successful. And when people tear her down for what she looks like and all this and that, I don't love that. Carolyn Herons, she does a lot of skincare reviews. She had a great video, and she kind of went off on Joe Rogan for tearing Kylie down. So this is no hate toward Kylie, but because her products are so inconsistent, and the price points are higher, I just always feel like I can get Colourpop. It's just always how I felt. There's nothing that Kylie has come out with that I'm like, I need, because I just relate her so closely to Colourpop. And I know it could be the same damn factory and different formulas, but nothing has got me. Almost one time, I think it was the Naughty and Nice collection from Christmas that almost got me. But I bought one palette from her and I didn't like it. And so that one's, just not, she hasn't got me in. There's nothing that she's done that I'm like, oh, I really want to jump down that rabbit hole. Yeah. Okay, so on to 5 brands that do excite me. recently, I know you guys can tell. I know you can tell. You'll see another haul video very soon. Colourpop has been blowing my mind lately. It was like once I got the Good Sport palette, because I got Yes Please, and I was like, oh, this is nice. But once I got the Good Sport palette, and then they started out with those 9-pan palettes of color, every release I'm now looking at. Whereas before, it seemed like Colourpop had a new release every week, and it was like Super Shocks, Super Shock Mattes, single shadows I've seen before. But now it's like, oh, colored eyeliners and pressed glitters. And so it feels like there's something for everybody now from Colourpop. Like if you are not a palette eyeshadow junkie, then the week later it's blush like sticks and highlighters and all different kinds of new innovative products. And I have been all over it. I mean, like the minute I pay off a huge Colourpop order, I'm starting another one. I haven't started a new one yet, but I didn't get the blue palette. I want to, because I have the other colored palettes, and I feel like it has a place. It has a place now that I'm going to need the blue. But I like to grab those 9-pan palettes and put them together and create looks that way, because they're little and small enough that, like today on my eyes, all the mattes are the purples and the pinks from Colourpop. And then when I want this sparkle and shine, I'm grabbing for my indies. So it's just, Colourpop is killing it. And I'm also purchasing. So it's not just exciting, it's also attainable. And they're smart because it's so attainable that I spend just as much as I would at like Beautylish or Sephora. But I'm enjoying so many products. And if something's a flop, then it doesn't affect me as badly because I'm like, it's $6, it's a flop, no big deal, moving right along. So Colourpop is like, you are killing it for me. And I always felt like Colourpop was, and now I'm eating up the candy. I'm eating up the everything. Another brand that I find really, really exciting, but I haven't actually purchased anything from, is Fenty. Fenty is, the way she's doing her little releases are almost like mini Colourpops, right? It's like, here's a little sampling of bronzers. Here's a little sampling of fun liners. Here's a little sampling of some little duos of these highlights. And people are speaking so well of some of these products, and I just haven't jumped because there hasn't been anything that I'm like, that is the product that I need in my life that's worth spending the money on. I almost got some of the little kilowatts, and I'm like, I know I have, if I'm not going to use them on my cheeks, if it's going to be on my eyes, I know I have indies that cover that. But I find every time Fenty is putting up something, I'm looking, I'm not buying yet, but I'm looking, and I think it's interesting. And that was one of the brands that I wanted to try this year, and I haven't yet. But it's definitely like, I see you, Fenty, and maybe one of these days I'll jump on that wagon. Or Sephora just needs to have a credit card. Either which way, I'm sure if Fenty had been at Ulta, I would have bought already. Another brand that has been kind of, I don't know if I'd say super exciting, but kind of like intriguing for me, is Natasha-Nonna. It's another brand that's been like on my radar, gonna try this year. But I always felt like, is it worth paying for the luxury? Because I am smart enough to know that this isn't going to be the eyeshadow of all eyeshadows. It's going to replace everything. And do I really want it to be? I mean, I have so much eyeshadow. You guys know that. So what is my expectation? But I'm way into the skin products. Like, visually speaking, I want them all. I want that dewy foundation that looks like skin. I want to try, the contour, little bronzing little palettes, the new eyeshadow palette that's coming out like this week. It's like half the price of the big ones. And I know it's smaller, but it's like, oh, that's attainable for me. $130, that's receipts I have to shred and hide from the man. But this new little palette that's coming out, that's attainable. And I like the color story and those rich, warm colors. And it feels like this could be the thing. And I don't feel like Natasha-Nonna pops out so much, but I do feel like people have talked about the inconsistency being a little strange, a little bit off, but I'm definitely, you know, Trend Mood pops up Natasha and I'm like, I'm looking at you, might have to just jump for it, because you should see my Beautylish wish cart, my little cart of the things that I'm like, I'm gonna heart this. I mean, half of Natasha-Nonna's palettes, the foundation, the skin, you know, bronzing and the highlighters, and I just find it like, ooh, that looks good, and I want to try it. Another brand that I find exciting, and this is, you know, a skin thing, because palettes are my passion. It's the things I like to share on YouTube, but I like to put my base on every day. And my base can be a little complicated. I mixed some foundations and powders, and now I'm baking a little bit more and contouring and using a little powder and I enjoy that. It's my quiet time. And there's a brand that's very, very expensive, but it's called, oh gosh, Penny's been talking about it nonstop. What is it called? I don't own any of it. Westman Atelier, okay? Very, very high end. The foundation's like a stick foundation. The bronzer is cream. They're all cream-based products. And I geek out on that stuff because it really makes your skin look good up close and more like skin. And right now I'm packed on. This highlight was just for you guys because I got home from work and I was like, I'm gonna highlight the hell out of my face. But I don't actually walk around like that. And the Westman Atelier line looks so delicious, but it's so expensive. And I find it intriguing that high-end, beautiful, clean ingredients that are actually beneficial for your skin. I'm telling you, ladies, if you're watching my channel and you're younger and you're all about the eyeshadow palettes, eventually someday you get to the point where you're like, but is it gonna help the skin underneath? Because it all matters. And that's kind of where I am with the Westman Atelier. I just find it kind of fascinating right now. So what I say that I liked, I said Colourpop, I said Fenty, I said Natasha and Westman Atelier. So what is the other one that I find intriguing? And probably something I haven't bought yet. Who else is exciting me? Oh, this is an indie brand. Every time I see them pop up on my feed, I'm like, I'm gonna buy the next release. Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I have talked about Give Me Glow Cosmetics multiple times on my channel. I used to always get her monthly box, and I really enjoyed them. You got a couple eyeshadows, the lip products. I love her lip products. But I'm not in the market for any more liquid lipsticks, so I kind of had to stop on that one. Her highlighters are beautiful formula. Her shimmers are foiled out of this world. But her matte formula back in the day was difficult to blend. It was so pigmented. Think almost like Subculture, not the powder everywhere kind of thing, but it's good to pack on and blend around, but they were hard to blend on each other, at least in my experience. But recently, the feed from Give Me Glow is like, I'm gonna order something. Like, she has a new empty palette where you can write in the names in the little circles so you can make your own, and it's really big. I like that. I really wanted the Vintage Rose palette. The Juicy Olive I thought looked really, really pretty. I talked myself out of that one because I'm like, I bet you if I pulled out every single green release that I've had, I could build that palette. Between Melt, Devinah, Sydney Grace, pull in some Looksies, I know that I have those things. And, you know, sometimes you gotta pump your own brakes. Especially, I don't even love green and blue eyeshadows. You know, like why do you need that? Because it's real pretty, but are you gonna wear it? I don't know, probably not. But I really want the Vintage Rose. I've been saying it for a long time in my head whenever it comes out, but it's a brand that intrigues me, and I really am double intrigued because I wanna know if the matte formula has improved. Is it better? Can I blend it? Is it the way I like to do eyeshadow? Because I like to build. You know, I'm not much of a just pack person. I don't like to spend that much time on my eyeshadow. I like to be able to build and go, oh, I want to add this color here. And sometimes that doesn't work. So that's a brand that I find very exciting, very intriguing, but I have not purchased from in a very, very, very long time. But a lot of the stuff I used to get, I used to love. Just, I'm now at a point where I'm like, I gotta know. If your price point is over this point, I'm not gonna just jump in and go, well, I didn't love that. There are certain brands that make exceptions to that. I'll try out anything Juvia's. Anything, because the price point is right, and if I don't love it, you know, it doesn't kill me. And the same thing with Colourpop. There's a brilliance to having your prices low, because then people are more willing to take those jumps and then move on to the next thing. It's very smart because we go in for more, right? Anyway, guys, that was my top 5, bottom 5 brands that excite me. Some of it was harder than I thought, because it was like, who's fallen off the wagon and who's amazing? There's so many awesome brands out there. I could have done, 5 more on top of that, but I had a lot of fun redoing this tag. I'm sorry it was so late. I will have other, up here, I'm gonna do a poll, because I wanna know, because I buy too much crap, right? I wanna know which eyeshadow palette you guys want me to do next. I did this I said I was gonna put it on my communities tab in a video that I filmed that I never put up, because I was talking about James Charles and Tati drama, and then the story kept changing and getting weird, and then I was like, I'm not even gonna put up this video anymore, because I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Okay, so up here in the cards, I'm going to put a little poll. I want you guys to tell me what eyeshadow palette you want me to review, buy to review next. There are a couple out there that I think are really, really cool, and I don't know if I want to jump the gun. Also, I'm going to have a Colourpop haul up, and in that, there is a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away the new palette, the Squeezy Juicy palette. So keep your eye out for that, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you have a YouTube channel and you haven't done this video yet, I challenge you, top 5, bottom 5. You are being tagged right now. And down below, if you don't have a channel, let me know, what are your top 5 that excite you, top 5 that don't excite you, and tell me why. And if there's anything that I should be peeping that I'm not, because sometimes I get stuck on certain brands. I'm like, this is a brand I love, it never fails me, and then you kind of get tunnel vision, and I could be missing out on things. So let me know. Also trying not to buy too much shit either, so find the breaks here. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think I've said this already. Have a great day, night, wherever you're at. As always, I love you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Don't forget, you can subscribe down here, and for more videos, click over here. Possibly there. There's places to click. Click them all.